Hey y'all! Today, when I was in class, in my art class, a really nice girl in my class asked if I could decorate the cover of a journal that she had just bought. And it is this journal here. She said that she liked the journal, but she didn't like the cover, so she asked if I could paint the TARDIS from Doctor Who on the cover. And I was so flattered. I was like, oh my goodness, someone wants me to do like something for them, and I was like, you trust me to do this? And she said yeah, so of course I said yes. But I was really excited. I'm also a little bit scared though, because I just want it to be perfect, and yeah, I don't want to mess it up. But and I thought you guys might like to see me decorate this. The only thing that I am worried about is this. I'm not gonna cut it off, but I do have to work around it. Might be a challenge. But yeah, so let's get started. So to start off, I already know that I cannot paint directly on the cover because this cover, it does not have enough tooth to it to where the paint will stick to it like paper does. I would just be able to scratch it off even if I put gesso on it. And also there's this, texture on the cover that I would rather not be there since I'm going to be painting on top of it. So to be able to work on this, I'm going to have to cover it with paper. And this paper, it has a lot of, tooth. I'll be able to paint on top of it. So I'm going to start off by cutting my paper the right size to glue it onto the cover. And I am going to be using this acid-free tacky glue because this is really strong, and I just think it'll be the best thing for this. I might dilute it a tiny bit with a different glue. I don't know. We will see. Because this is like really thick, so I might add another glue to thin it out a little bit. But we will see. And so yeah, I'm just going to get started with this. Okay, so I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to wrap paper around the cover, or I could just go to the edges. So I left a little bit extra paper on the end, just in case if I need it, because the book does bend here. So I might just need that little bit of extra paper, if that makes sense. If you want to do what I'm doing with the cover and do this technique, make sure that you cut the paper exactly the right size before you glue it down, so that you don't have to try and cut the edges, which is hard to do once it is glued. So yeah, just make sure you do that, because I should have done that. I can't stand to have dried glue on my fingers. Blah. Hate it. So now I made sure to cut this better, and I'm going to glue the spine. When you do this, you want to make sure that you don't just glue the paper flat like this. You want to make sure that you do it front and then do the side and then do the other side, because you want to acknowledge the, what do you call this thing? This crease or whatever. Because if I just glued this paper flat like this, when I fold my book, it would rip. So you just want to make sure that you make your paper go into the crease and not just flat on top, because it will rip. Well, I don't have to, oh no. Okay. I did not want to take this thick paper over the edges because it would ruin, this, and it would just be hard to get it to stick. But tissue paper would be very easy to put over the edges. And it would just kind of like make sure that this paper that I glued didn't peel off. This will, and okay, I'm using toilet paper, the tissue paper that goes like over the toilet paper when you first buy it. I've used this in projects before too when I needed tissue paper and I didn't have any. Okay, so I'm just going to cut pieces of tissue paper and glue them on top so that it can go over the edge so that this will for sure not peel off. Hooray, the cover is finally covered. And the tissue paper came around the edges, so there's, this is a smooth edge. And I'm just going to let this dry, and then I'll finally start painting on it. So yeah, I'm going to let this dry and I'll be back. I've been thinking about it and I want to have texture on the book. I've even been thinking maybe about putting some texture on the spine, like River Song's book does have. Yeah, it does. Like, it has like dimension on the spine as well. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking a cereal box and I'm going to be cutting out just pieces of the cereal box to create my 4 squares to make it look like the TARDIS. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm having such a hard time explaining things today. I don't know why, but yeah, I'm just going to be cutting the cereal box and gluing it on here before I start painting to have it look more like the TARDIS. Instead of just painting it, I want to have texture. So that's what I'm going to do. I decided I'm going to be watching Doctor Who while I make this journal. So I am now going to be gluing these on, and I also cut out some little square pieces that I'm actually going to put on the spine. Okay, so it's dry, these things, and I got really tired, and I don't know why I'm tired. I took a 3-hour nap this afternoon, and I was thinking that I was not going to be able to sleep tonight at all, but I am really tired. But, okay, I put 4 layers of cardboard from the cereal box of these little squares to give the spine dimension, like River Song has on her journal. But you can like see each like layer. So just to kind of mask that a little bit, I'm going to take some more of the I'm going to take this paper that I also used on the cover and glue it on top of that. And I have a headache too. Ugh. Okay, this apple is so good. It is super sweet, super good. So weird that I'm craving it. It is good. So now I'm just gonna start painting. I'm on my third apple. 3 apples in one day, and I don't like apples. So weird. So I brought in some paint to the inside of the cover, and I'm just gonna put this piece of paper over it so that it looks a little nicer. Okay guys, so I want more dimension on the cover because this just isn't doing it for me. And I was going to cut more cardboard to put on top of these to give more dimension, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to take some gesso in this little squeezy tube and go over what I already have, and just to give it some more dimension. So it's the next day because the gesso took, forever to dry, but it worked really well. I'm going to try to show you guys. There's a lot more dimension on the TARDIS. Yeah, I'm going to paint over this and see if I like it like that, or if I want to add the windows and the little like description thing on the door. But yeah, I'm just gonna paint, and then I'll be back. So I put 2 coats of paint all over the cover, and now I'm just gonna finish up with some details, and then I'll be done. So I'm gonna get working on that. I think I made a very big mistake and covered the cover with modeling paste and gesso because it just didn't look right, so I covered it, and oh my goodness, you guys. Let's hope this works out. I did this in the most difficult way possible. I could have done this a ton easier way, but of course I did it the most worst way. Oh my goodness. So I do not recommend doing what I just did. I don't recommend using the like modeling paste or gesso to try and create texture if you were wanting it to be very precise. like I'm wanting this to be. So yeah, don't do that. But I'm good with the dimension. Like, I think it's, you know, that's good, but the surface is still really rough, which I didn't like in the beginning. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep adding. I'm going to cut this thick paper, and I'm just gonna cover the gessoed places with the paper to even it out, so that I don't have this texture. And then I am done creating dimension. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm just going to cut them out and glue them on. And then so I'm just going to cut this paper, glue it on the places that I made the mistake and tried to create dimension with modeling paste, and then I'll be back. And now I'm going to cover it once again with tissue paper, so we don't have, like, this won't come up. It'll just kind of seal it better. Okay, so now that I fixed that and I have a better surface, I'm just going to paint it blue once again, so I'm going to do that. Hooray, the journal's done. I'm so happy. Because a couple of times I thought the journal was just going to turn out super awful looking, but I like it and I'm done. I'm not going to add anything else. I'm done. I decided not to add the windows and the little, like, plaque thing that's on the door of the TARDIS on here, because I really don't want to ruin it. It looks very similar to River Song's journal in Doctor Who, so yeah, I don't want to risk it. I can't. The only thing is, this strap thingy kind of goes over it a little bit. But I mean, I don't think that's a very big deal. And I did get some paint on it. Yeah. I mean, I tried to be as clean as possible, but things happen. I also got a brush stroke on the paper, which I was like, no, but I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, and there's like 2 shades of blue on here. It has like the dark blue, and then I went over with some light blue to just really bring out like the texture, and I like how that looks. So it's not just completely one shade of blue. And on the insides, you know, it's blue around the edges, also here. So this is actually not the first, like, Doctor Who thing that I've made. I made a journal for my cousin that was a canvas cover, and it has the TARDIS on the front, but it's watercolor, and I really like that journal. I'm pretty proud of it. So I'm going to insert a picture in the video so you guys can see, because I finally found the pictures I've been looking for a while, and I found some. And then in Doctor Who, Amelia Pond made, she has a TARDIS box that she made. Let me zoom out a little bit. And so I made a TARDIS box, and I just painted it My favorite doctor is the 11th Doctor, which is Matt Smith. He is my favorite. I cannot watch any other doctors. Like, I can't. They're not the Doctor to me. Only Matt Smith is. And, oh, I was so annoyed with the 12th Doctor. Yeah, the newest Doctor. I cannot watch them. I watched the first episode and I was like, nope. David Tennant, the 10th? I'm confused. Yeah, the 10th Doctor. He's cool, but he's just, he's not the Doctor. I mean, he's cool, but I remember when my friend in my drawing class introduced me to Doctor Who, and she was like, everyone has their Doctor, and that is who they are, like, loyal to, that's who they're devoted to, and that's their Doctor, and yeah, she was totally right, because I can't watch any other Doctor. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope you guys learned something. I feel like this should almost be like how not to make a Doctor Who journal. Which doesn't sound good, but I just feel like I made a lot of mistakes. But this is a learning process. I've never done this before, so, you know, I was learning myself. So, yeah. But, I like it. I hope that she likes it, and, yeah, I think it's cool. So I will see you guys in my next video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!